Edition of Legal Hour program. We bring this program to you every week. Usually we're here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but for some reasons lawyer couldn't come yesterday. And tonight I'm here with a special guest. We'll be discussing a very important matters. The topic is very interesting. So before then, I'll entreat each and everyone to share. Please make sure you share this program, that your friends, your family, everyone will benefit from it. Before I go into the topic, I would like to entreat people to comment on this program as well whilst you're watching it. Because many a times people ask me, "Oh, Chaka, we've been watching you, but you've not been mentioning our names, you've not been giving us the acknowledgement." Please make sure that whilst you're watching, you comment. Then I'll be able to give you the acknowledgement that you need. Because Facebook, mostly it's designed in such a way that if you don't comment, I'll not see that you're watching me. So please make sure you comment. And along the line, we open the phone lines for viewers or callers to call in and of course ask questions relating to the topic. I've got a special guest tonight, and usually we do this program in 3 on Wednesdays, but then my guest obviously going to be speaking English today because her understanding in the three language is a bit limited. She's got some deficit with the 3 language. So tonight is going to be English. We're switching it over. But please make sure you share and make sure everyone benefits from this program. Our topic for tonight, we'll be talking about foreign nationals involved in the criminal justice system. A lot of people have come to the United Kingdom, and from different countries, they get involved in the criminal justice system. So we're going to be talking about their journey from the time of sentencing till maybe time of deportation or time probably when they get their rights to remain in the UK. So please stay tuned. This is very interesting because I'm sure you know someone who probably is in a detention center or somebody who perhaps is in prison and waiting to be sent to detention center or for bail. So it is very important. My guest tonight will be Miss Edwina Ofori, who is very knowledgeable, intelligent woman involved in the criminal justice system. She's a civil servant. She's taking busy schedules out tonight, and she's going to be very, very, very good and give us the knowledge or adhere to everything that we need. So please make sure you enjoy this program. Please make sure that you share, that everyone will benefit from it, because we don't usually get people from outside city law. But then of course tonight it's always been myself and lawyer, but tonight we are fortunate to have Ms. Edwina. So I'll be taking a quick commercial break. When we come back, my guest will be here and we crack on. Just so you know, this program is proudly sponsored by CITI Law Solicitors. They've been our backbone from day one, and they continue to support us to bring the Legal Hour program to you. So we'll be starting the program very soon. I'm waiting for my guests to get ready, and I'll be right back. So please stay tuned. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Please stay tuned. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Legal Hour program. This is where we discuss legal matters. We talk about pertaining matters, most especially in the United Kingdom. Tonight, we are fortunate to have Ms. Edwina Ofori in our midst, obviously as our guest for tonight's program. She has an in-depth knowledge in the criminal justice system. And tonight, as I said earlier on, our topic is going to be focused on foreign nationals, people that have come to the UK, that have got themselves involved in the criminal justice system, and of course have been either to prison, in the community, or even to the detention center. So we'll be having a discussion about this. I know it will benefit you. I will entreat each and everyone to share this program. Please make sure you share for your friends, your family, or everyone to benefit from that. And then this program is proudly sponsored by CITI Law Solicitors. We thank them very much for being the backbone of this program. And we've been able to bring this program to you every week. Usually we do the English version on Tuesdays and Tree version on Wednesdays. But we've got some changes because my dear sister is not really in depth. She hasn't got much knowledge with the Tree language, although she's Ghanaian. So we will be doing it in English because she's more confident and comfortable doing it in English. I hope it will benefit you so, and I entreat you to share. And as we progress, we'll open the phone lines for our viewers to obviously call in and ask questions of their choice in relation to the matter or within the criminal justice system, because that's her expertise. So please, when we open the phone lines, if you have any questions in the criminal matter, make sure you call in, and she'll try her best, obviously, to answer to the best of your ability. Yeah, so I'm going to welcome my guest, and we'll crack on. All right, Ed, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. So how do you feel coming here for the first time?
Excited.
Oh, that's great. Well done. And we'll thank you very much for honoring this invitation. It's not easy to get, people. I know how busy you are, but out of your busy schedules, you've taken time out to come and, of course, be beneficial to viewers and listeners. So CITI Law, CITI Media, we're very proud of you. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
All right, great. All right, our topic is quite interesting tonight, and I know that is the area of your practice in a way. Before we go, I just want you to introduce yourself. I mean, give us some background information about yourself and what you do, please.
So, my name is Edwina Ofori. I am a probation practitioner. I've been a probation practitioner for 5 years now. Prior to this, I did a criminology and law undergrad, and then I did a criminology master's, which has helped me in my career. And at the moment, I'm working with offenders from all different types of background, helping to rehabilitate, basically just helping to keep them out of the loop of the criminal justice system.
That is great. Thank you. Wow. I'm really impressed with your knowledge. So it must be, I'm in the same field anyway, so I understand and I know what we go through and what we actually do with these offenders. But then tonight specifically, our topic is centered with foreign nationals. For the benefit of viewers, if we say someone is a foreign national, who is a foreign national? So,
a foreign national is someone who is living in a country that they have not been naturalised in, so they're resident in that country, or someone that's not been lawfully permitted to live in that country is technically classed as a foreign national.
Okay, so in that perspective, people that have migrated or that have come from different countries, whether from the European, from America, from Australia, from Africa, if they are here and they haven't naturalized, they are all classed as foreign nationals.
Yeah, they're defined as foreign nationals.
Okay, that's impressive. Thank you very much for that. So I believe UK is some sort of multicultural, country. So that embraces a lot of people from other parts of the world. Okay. All right. So we're going to dip into the foreign nationals and their involvement in the criminal justice system. So at the point of sentencing, how do the criminal justice system identify the foreign nationals? How do they get to know that, oh, this particular offender is a foreign national at that point of sentencing?
So prior to the sentencing, through the police stations and through the court, they have use of interpreters to help determine the status of a person. And then also at the court, they also have immigration officers who are able to help ascertain the person's status. At that point, if there's still doubt about the person's status, they will then make contact with the Home Office to get clarity on what the status is of that person prior to sentencing.
Okay, so in that sense, would you say that procedure that is applicable to everyone, regardless, because some people will come into contact with the criminal justice system. You could tell that their English is excellent, they've got the British accent and everything, but yet still in our practice we still get people who are classed as foreign national regardless of their English and everything. So is it everyone, or they have to get some sort of a prompt or something need to be informed before they can know that this person could be a foreign national before we do the checks?
So not necessarily. You don't need to necessarily just have an accent or, not look like you're from the UK. Usually they'll do checks, ID checks, to verify who you are. Even when you go through the police system, they take fingerprints, they look at the police national computer. There's various checks they do at every point before that person gets to sentencing. So at the point of sentencing, they should be able to determine if they are a foreign national or not. And like I said, if in doubt, they will then go to the Home Office and request the Home Office to do more in-depth checks.
Okay then. So let's say at that point, they've been able to identify the person as a foreign national, and then the sentence has been imposed. What happens then?
So when the person's been identified as a foreign national, the one thing the judge will take into consideration, or the magistrate, is the fact that they are a foreign national, and they will never use that as bearing on sentencing. So the fact that someone is a foreign national will not necessarily mean that they won't receive custody or they won't receive a probation order. That will have no bearing. The judge would usually say that, okay, I sentence you, for example, to 9 months to probation, but then at that point he would probably state, but then it is up to the Home Office whether they're going to deport or not. But I am imposing this sentencing for this offence according to sentencing guidelines in our country. So their status will have no bearing on the crime or on the offence that they've committed. They will still be sentenced accordingly. Okay, great. Thank you very much for that.
All right, viewers, if you just join us, I'm in the studio with my sister from another mother, Miss Edwina Ofori. She's a colleague, very knowledgeable, probation practitioner, and tonight we're here talking about foreign nationals and their journey in the criminal justice system. We deal with quite a lot of people, foreign nationals, and she's giving a background information who foreign nationals are, and we're just talking about at the point of sentencing, and she's just elaborated on whether them being foreign national will be taken into account with the sentence, and she has justified that there wouldn't be any bearing, or it wouldn't have any impact on that, but obviously they'll be sentenced in accordance to the sentence guidelines, which the court uses to obviously impose sentences to offenders. So this is where we are at this point. If you've just joined us, please make sure you share the program. Please, for everyone, your family, for your friends to benefit from that. My name is MC Chuck. I've been the host for this program, and I'm still the host. So we're going to progress along the we open the phone lines, and obviously you can ask any question that you want to ask Miss Edwina or myself. So please keep watching, stay tuned, and then please make sure you drop your comments. All right, Ed, back to you. So let's say at the court, the person or the foreign national who has been identified has received a sentence, whether it's a community sentence or custodial sentence. At what point do they sort of put them for deportation, and what happens with that? I just want you to tell me the process at the court when they've been identified. What happens in terms of obviously them facing deportation?
Okay, so if we take the example of custody, for instance, so the person will receive a custodial order for, let's just give an example of 1 year.
Yeah.
So the person will serve the custodial order. So at the point of, we'll say towards the end of the order, the Home Office would have identified that person, and if they feel that this person is going to be deported imminently, they will issue something called an IS-91.
Okay.
So an IS-91 gives the prison permission to hold that person in custody, sometimes over the period of their sentence. The IS-91 is usually issued in good time, but sometimes the Home Office, the caseworker, you know, there could be complications with the case and the IS-91 is issued late. So in that situation, the person, the foreign national, might not find out until the end of their order that they're going to be held on IS-91. So when they're held, sometimes they could be taken to deportation centres, sometimes they can be held in prison, but that form enables the prison or the Home Office to detain that person.
Okay, so that gives them the power to obviously hold that person.
Yeah.
For either deportation or for them even for them to apply for bail.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What if this foreign national did not get custodial sentence, but then let's say community sentence, whether it's a community order or suspended sentence order? What happens with that particular individual?
So with that individual, the likelihood is they're going to apply for an immigration bail, because even though we are managing these people, the Home Office are also managing them alongside us. So although they're reporting to us and we're supervising them, the Home Office are also supervising them. So the Home Office will then put their separate conditions in place. We'll have our conditions in terms of they have to report to us. We treat them no different to any other offender. We do interventions. We do whatever is applicable to that person. And then, like I said, alongside that, the Home Office will be doing their own things as well.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Can you tell us what length of sentence the court will impose, obviously, to warrant, let's say, automatic deportation or involvement with immigration? Because I think we know that sometimes when someone gets a lesser sentence, Home Office might not automatically be involved. It might not warrant that. So can you elaborate a little bit more on the sentence and then how they will get involved?
So usually it's a sentence of 12 months and over. Once an offender receives a sentence of 12 months, the Home Office, if that person is of Home Office interest, the Home Office will automatically get involved and then start making decisions and ascertain whether they're going to deport and so on and so forth.
Okay then, so that means that obviously whoever will be subject to maybe Home Office interest would need to commit an offence longer than 12 months before they will be...
The Home Office will step in.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So if it's less than, let's say, the 12 months, then of course that person will be good to go.
Technically speaking, yeah.
All right. Viewers, but I mean, that doesn't give you the right to go and offend, you know what I mean? Because
disclaimer.
Exactly, yeah. So basically, offences more than 12 months are when the Home Office will step in and they will either issue the IS-91 or something like that. All right, let me read our disclaimer before we continue. This is Legal Hour exclusion note. So the opinions and advice in this video are intended for general information purposes only and should not be used as a substitute for professional advice. CITI Law solicitors and the authors or presenters are not responsible for any direct or indirect result arising from any reliance placed on videos, including any loss, and exclude liability to the full extent. So in short, everything that we say is free advice, but then it's not binded by any law. You cannot stand outside and say you're using it for your defense or for your claim or for whatever reason you want to use it for. It's for your general advice purposes. So if you're looking for CITI Law to obviously come and support you, that is when you have to go and see them in their place. I'll let you know, and then they'll be able to make the necessary referrals or put pen and paper on, and then make sure that you follow the right channel before they can progress with your case. So please take note of this disclaimer. I don't want a situation whereby someone will say, oh, Chaka and Edwina said this, so this is what we're sticking to. Please make sure you take that into consideration. Please do that. All right, Ed, let's continue. All right, so I believe when someone probably in prison mostly, or even in the community, a foreign national, and the Home Office has shown interest in the case, and they've issued an IS-91. Obviously, that gives them the power to detain the person after, let's say, the custodial element of the sentence. If that has happened, and for instance, the person is in detention center, what are the rights of this individual who has been detained? What can they do? Do they have to sort of consent to whatever Home Office will say and get deported, or they can do something to overturn that?
Okay, so when you're held on IS-91, it's usually so the Home Office can take time to seek your travel documents, to if there's any outstanding hearings or anything like that. So it just gives them time to do these things. But whilst if you're the person in detention, it doesn't just mean you have to sit there and wait to be deported. You can contact an immigration solicitor, and through them they can apply for immigration bail for you. Just because you're in detention doesn't mean that you're not applicable to get immigration bail. You could be there for, I don't know, for example, 3, 4, 5 months, and then your immigration bail is granted. So if you contact an immigration lawyer, they should be able to do an appeal for you.
Oh, right. So, I mean, that means when you are in detention, or when you have any Home Office involvement or subject to, let's say, Home Office reporting and stuff like that, you are eligible to apply for bail. Yeah. And obviously you can contact a solicitor, and you can make application for bail, right?
You can, yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right, so viewers, this brings us to where I need to sell CITI Law Solicitors. CITI Law Solicitors is one of the most renowned legal firms in the UK. They are based at Unit 113 Barking Enterprise Centre, 50 Cambridge Road, SS IG 118FG. They've got a proven record of helping people out from detention. They've done it so many times, uncountable. So if there are any concerns, if you or your family or you know someone who is currently at detention and wanting to get bail, please make sure you contact them as a matter of urgency as soon as possible. And Lawyer Thomas Bebenyo and his learned and able colleagues will be able to assist you and help you with the legal matters. Their contact number is 020 33550782. 020-3355-0782. They specialize in all sort of legal areas, but then most especially immigration law, which we're doing right now, employment law, family law, personal injuries and clinical negligence, commercial disputes and civil litigations, housing law, consumer law, media and entertainment law. So please make sure that if you are confronted with any of these immigration challenges, whether detention and someone wanted to make bail application, this is your right one-stop shop where you have to contact them and they'll be able to assist you with your immigration matters. All right, and I'll entreat viewers to share this program, and of course you can comment on the program. Let me quickly go online and see people that are watching us and read some of their comments. Okay. All right. The comments keeps disappearing. I do apologize if I've not read some of the comments, but then I think there'll be lots of comments. Ama Opon Yameche is watching. Daniel Ofori says, proud of you, sis. Daniel Ofori. Do you know Daniel Ofori?
Yeah.
All right. Daniel, thank you very much for joining. Eddie Duku Asamoah. Eddie says 100%. Thank you very much, Eddie. Thank you. Okay, Yaya Kale Oforios. Yaya Kale Oforios says, Era Akuya. Is that your Ghanaian name? Alright, viewers, Edwina is Ghanaian. You know? As you can hear, the name is Ofori, Edwina Ofori. Anyway, Ernestina Kakari says, good evening. Good evening to you, Ernestina. Thank you very much for watching. Ernestina says, good job, thank you. Kwajo Bobot. Kwajo says, I'm watching you live from Glasgow. Kwajo, thank you very much for watching. Nice talking to you last time anyway. So please keep dropping your comments. I do apologize. This one keeps on disappearing, so I was unable to start reading it from the scratch. But you can still drop comment and I'll read as many as I can. Thank you. And please make sure you share as well. Because tonight we've got Edwina here, very knowledgeable probation officer. Ama Opon Yameche, watching you live from Canada. Good job. Thank you very much. I believe this is my my sister Deborah. Debbie, thank you very much for watching anyway. Thank you. So let's continue. Ed, let's continue. All right. So now we are where obviously they can make application for bail. Mm-hmm. So let's assume that the bail has not been authorized. The bail has not gone through. Mm-hmm. What happens to this foreign national offender if the bail has not been authorized by the Home Office?
Okay. So the bail has not been authorized by the Home Office. The likelihood is they're going to be kept in detention, but just because their first appeal hasn't been successful, it doesn't mean that they can't continue to appeal. They have several attempts at appealing through an immigration tribunal.
All right. This is where you need a very good solicitor to step in and complete this process for you, because mostly with the cases that I've managed, their first appeal they don't grant it.
No.
And it goes to I think upper tribunal or something like that, and eventually with the House of Good Solicitor, we come there anyway where you obviously have engagement with the solicitors and everyone. Mm-hmm. You come there. So back to that. Obviously, you said they can appeal again. At that point, at that particular point, that they are appealing, mm-hmm. or they are making the application, what involvement do you have as a practitioner to support them? I mean, at that time.
Yeah, as a practitioner, for instance, the one thing you need when you're applying for Home Office bail is an address. So at that point, the Home Office will make contact with ourselves and ask us to go and do a risk assessment on the address, to also run police checks at the address, to make sure there are no issues at the address. And at that point, if we approve the address, we will then let the solicitor know, we'll let the caseworker know, and they in turn will let the judge know, and then the judge will make a decision as to whether he's going to grant the bail or not.
Oh, great. Okay, that's fine. So, I mean, that means you play a very significant role in this, because obviously you have to let the court know, the tribunal know, mm-hmm. whether the address is suitable or not after completing your assessment.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So you play a very good role then, obviously. And in terms of supporting these people, mm-hmm. As a probation officer, let's say they've been attending the appointments with you, is there anything within your professional remit that you can do to support them? Some sort of input or whatever in the bail hearing?
Yeah. So I can give an example for a situation I had very recently with someone that I'd supervised for 18 months. And at the end of his order, I terminated it, but then he had then gone forward to apply for citizenship in the UK. His solicitor then made contact with me and asked me if I could write a character reference on the individual, about engagement and did they comply and character and things like that, which I did. And then they then used that statement at the hearing. So we do play quite a vital role with these people, and there's a lot of liaison between the solicitors, between the caseworkers. Okay,
so can you confirm that maybe at the time of the hearing or in preparation for the hearing, the solicitor can suggest or can request for, let's say, the person's compliance or engagement with you?
Yeah, they can ask, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, so they ask for a risk assessment, or how they've been engaging with you?
Yeah, how they've been engaging, you know, if they were attending appointments, and what my professional judgment was in terms of how they had progressed through the order, if I felt, you know, there was a behaviour shift, what I thought, how I deemed the person to be now as to when I first met them. So I just gave a general opinion of how I felt he had progressed.
All right.
The identity shift.
Oh, great. And you think that played some sort of impact in it? I know it wouldn't turn the decision anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think that was helpful? Anyway?
I do definitely feel that it would have helped.
Okay, great. All right. So let's assume that the tribunal have decided to obviously grant bail to these foreign nationals. I know they just don't leave them like that. What are some of the conditions? What do they do to them to make sure that they don't abscond or they don't run away?
Okay, so as I said before, we supervise these individuals, but the Home Office are also supervising them alongside us. So we, for instance, on the Home Office side, they can do things like put electronic monitoring on them, GPS tagging, so they'll know their whereabouts. They can put things in like reporting, so the individuals have to report to the Home Office on a weekly basis. Sometimes, you know, if you have an immigration solicitor, they can challenge this to maybe reduce the frequency of reporting. Okay. They can put things in like they restrict your access to work, so you're unable to work. With that, again, if you've got a good immigration solicitor, they can maybe challenge it if you've previously worked prior to the conviction, you know, and maybe get that overturned. They also can put in no recourse to public funds, which is, I think that's a blanket kind of rule. Yeah. So that means they can't apply for benefits. Yeah. They can't, you know, it's just no recourse to public funds at all. So in that sense, we would then possibly signpost to places like charities who can help. I know the Home Office have departments that help. All right,
we come to that stage, but then yeah. So these are the conditions that you've mentioned. That obviously they can get GPS tagging, they can get. They'll impose maybe right not to work, and they'll be subject to report maybe weekly to their centers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. In terms of monitoring these conditions, is it your responsibility to ensure that the foreign national complies with it, or the responsibility solely lies on the Immigration Home Office?
Okay. So I will always advise people to comply with these conditions. In terms of the tagging and things, that is monitored by the Home Office. Okay. But I was always advised to adhere to these conditions.
So the tagging, is it a GPS trail monitoring?
It is, yeah.
Where they put it,
the physical tag on the ankle. Yeah.
And then they can monitor
the
whereabouts, yeah?
Yeah, sometimes they keep phones as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. So what if somebody, subject to probation, under your supervision, and of course, Home Office bail conditions as well, what happens if this person go absconded, if the person ran away? Okay. And can't be traced. After the bail, this person disappeared. What happens?
So, depending on what order they're on, so for instance, if they were on a licence with probation, we would have the right to recall that person back into custody. If the person was on a community order, we would then breach that order and return that order to court. But then we would also immediately notify the Home Office that that person has absconded, so then they will then put their own processes in place as well.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So you notify Home Office
straight away, yeah.
and then let them know that this person is not engaging with you.
Yeah.
And then they can implement their enforcement.
Yeah. But
policies.
the Home Office do. I found that they do check in regularly anyway.
Okay.
To check the compliance of the individual.
Okay, that's fine. So that person will be subject to immigration conditions by going to report to them.
Yeah.
Let's say weekly.
Weekly, usually.
And then we'll be reporting to you as well.
Yeah.
And what is the frequency of the reporting, especially to yourself?
To myself. So depending on the risk of the person, where we've deemed them high, medium, low, that will determine the frequency of how often they report to myself.
Okay. I know you've highlighted a bit of on recall. Would you explain it in layman's term? What does that mean actually? Viewers are not probation officers, so they definitely might not understand the technicalities. The legal terminology. So
okay. So when you're sentenced to a custodial order, you will serve the custodial part of it. You'll then be released into the community on something that's called a license, and you'll have license conditions which we will determine. So, for instance, there's several things we can put into place, like exclusion zones, not being able to contact certain people, so on and so forth. So the person then has to adhere to these conditions. At the moment they stop adhering to these conditions, I then have the right to recall that person back into custody to finish the remainder of their sentence.
All right, thank you very much. Let me read some Facebook comments quickly before, and then we continue. Eddie Duka Samoa, very informative, says this is needed. Thank you very much, Eddie. Thank you. You know Eddie, right?
Yeah, he's my brother.
Oh, your brother?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for watching. I know your sister is doing very well here. Freeman Kakari Chaka, I'm watching your program live. Thank you very much, Mr. Kakari. Thank you. All right. Yaya Kalo Ophorio says, proud of you, big sis. And then who is
my brother.
Oh, your brother too?
Yeah.
Wow, you've got all your family on board today. Well, that's great. Thank you guys for supporting this program. Thank you for watching. All right, Pakwesi Edem Edwards. Edwina, I'm so proud of you. Go girl. Beauty with brain. Very educative. Wow. Very impressive. Thank you. Thank you, Pakwesi Edem. Thank you. We do appreciate this. Thank you. All right. So please, viewers, make sure you drop comment if you want me to see you. I'll get back to the comments and I should be able to read that for you. Thank you. All right. So you've explained what the recall procedure is, and of course what you have to do to send someone back to prison. I mean, if they fail to comply or if they fail to engage, and you've given the difference between the probation side and the Home Office side. I mean, because Home Office will manage the immigration side, and then you will manage the criminal aspect of the order or something like that, or the foreign national. All right, thank you very much for that. So at what point do you stop engaging with this particular person?
Okay, so different situations. So, for instance, if the person was to be deported, our engagement would continue right up until the Home Office deported them. So until they're physically on that plane, we would still be supervising that person. So at the point of removal is when we would terminate that order. Okay. Not anything before that. Okay.
And at what point again would you finish with this particular person when they are in the country?
So if they're on license, we would work with them. If they're not subject to deportation and they're still on immigration bail, we would continue to work with them right up until the order finishes.
Okay, that's good. So we know a lot of people, foreign nationals, as you mentioned earlier on, might not have any records to public fund. They might not have any financial means or whatever. What kind of support could be available in the community for these people? How would they support themselves when they are on bail? I know when detention is the responsibility of the government, they'll take care of them. But when they're in the community and they don't have any recourse to public fund, I mean, they don't have right to work most of the times. How do they support themselves, and what can you do in your field of practice to give them the support that they need?
I'll be honest with you, it's very limited. In terms of the help we can provide, we can signpost to charities, we can, you know, do things like referrals to food banks, and things like that. If you've got a good immigration solicitor, they can also apply to the Home Office for some funding. They can also apply for help with housing and things like that. But in terms of ourselves, we're very limited as to what we can do. Even in terms of you know, referrals to certain bodies that we work with, if there are no recourse to public funds, it's very difficult for them to work with them in order, like, to get funding to work with them. So yeah, it's very limited. All right.
My uncle is watching me. Haji, Mr. Brown, uncle, thank you very much for watching all the way from America. I appreciate that. I think this is the first time I've seen you watching, so keep watching. Thank you very much. Anyway, all right, Mr. Brown, Haji Brown, Uncle Cole Brown, you're watching me all the way from America. All right, and I mean, what you've hinted is really, really good point. You know. Because sometimes it becomes very challenging for these people.
Yeah.
That at some point, as practitioner, you feel like you want to give them something out of your own.
Yeah.
You know, because some of them come in. I know there are a couple of charity organizations that within our role we can obviously make referral, but that is for just clothing and for things that wouldn't worth more than £200.
Exactly.
So that makes it very difficult for, you know, these foreign nationals. So at this point, would you say that maybe they can challenge decisions made by the Home Office, or they can challenge their condition on the bail, contact a very good solicitor, and obviously overturn the right to work in this country?
Yeah, so I've had situations where when they've originally gone onto immigration bail, one of the conditions has been no right to work in the UK. And I've had, I think, 3 cases that have got good immigration solicitors, and they have challenged the decision, and it's been overturned at the tribunal, and now they're able to work and earn money and support themselves and their families.
Wow. So viewers, if you know someone, or if you are in that situation, that obviously Home Office has restricted you, or they have imposed a condition which will not allow you to work in the UK, you can contact CITI Law Solicitors, because Lawyer Thomas and his learned colleagues are really good at doing this. They can easily challenge that. They can make appeal to the Home Office, and then they will be able to help you to overturn that decision. Because living in the UK, whilst you're on bail, and you wouldn't know when you go back to court. Sometimes it could take years, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could take years for them even to call you for the hearing. And how are you going to survive? If care is not taken at that particular time, and if, let's say, the person has committed or is a prolific acquisitive offender,
the likelihood is they're going to offend again.
Exactly. That person will go back and start committing, shoplifting or, robbery, burglary or something like that, just to survive, And at times you can't blame them, because, man needs to survive.
Yeah.
I know we're not justifying that anyway, but when the condition becomes very, tough or severe or difficult, people will act without even thinking about the consequences of their actions. You know what I mean? So if you are confronted in this situation or whatever, you can contact CITI Law Solicitors, and they'll be able to help you overturn that decision, and you get your right to work. Has there been a situation whereby a foreign national can say, look, I'm fed up, I want to go back to my country, and then of course give up and say I want to go? And what happens in that situation?
Okay, so usually from quite early in the process, when they're identified as a foreign national offender, the Home Office will ask, do you want to be voluntarily removed from the country? And they will come back and keep asking them, do you want us to voluntarily remove you? If you continue to refuse, then you will go through the channels of IS-91, possibly held in a deportation centre, so on and so forth. But they do give the option to voluntarily, and I actually know someone that who, you know, he was released on Home Office bail.
Okay.
And he had no right to work, he had no recourse to public funds, and he couldn't survive. And then when they offered it to him again, he took it and he went because he just couldn't survive in this country.
Yeah, but then have you had any issue, or have you had cases whereby people is just say, oh yeah, I want to go back, and then maybe 2-3 months they're back in the country?
I haven't experienced that yet. But I'm sure it happens.
Yeah. You know, I think I've had one in the past anyway, because going through the cases, that is about the 10th time this person has been reported and come back. Yeah. Oh, it's there. You know what I mean? So this is very difficult one. But yeah, especially people that are from the other part of the Europe.
Yeah.
Let's say Romania and around that area.
Yeah.
They're happy to go quickly.
Yeah.
But then they probably jump into the truck and and then they're back in the UK. So I don't know if you'll be able to elaborate on that. With these people, when they come back again, whilst let's say they've been deported, they've been deported, they're out of the country, and through their own, let's say, dubious or whatever means, they've come back to the country and they are caught. They did not finish their sentence. What will happen to them at that point?
Okay, so depending on how they've made entry into the UK, you know, Interpol and things like that would generally pick up at the border. But you know, these people, some of them have traffickers and so on and so forth. But once they're back into the system, they will go through the same rigmarole again.
All right then. So that means when they come back, because you've done termination, you've completed their case, thinking that they wouldn't. Because I know that there's a very popular case that was, I think that person is Ghanaian or something like that, and went out, got deported, came back to the country, was caught, and then they have to put him through the criminal justice system again. Would you, as a probation practitioner, when it comes to you, that this person was managed by you and you've got the notification that he's been arrested and back into the country, whilst the license is still active, at that time, would you recall the person and send him back to prison?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
I would.
And then you make sure that he complete the sentence in custody.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right. I think I've exhausted almost all my questions. Let me read some of the comments that have just come on board. Ohima Nana Asa Safua II. I love this name. Let me pronounce the name again.
My queen mother auntie.
Ohima Nana Asa Safua II. Nana says, Edwina is my niece, in whom I'm well proud. I'm watching you from Accra, Ghana. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Nana Hema. Nana Onkwaso, thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate your input and the comments. We appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Ed, I'm going to open the phone lines and then I'll give viewers and listeners the opportunity to call if they have any question for you. So, viewers, callers, I'll be opening the phone lines very soon. The number to call is what has just appeared on the screen. If you look at the screen, you can see the two telephone numbers. But for the purpose of those who want to write it down, it's 079 32 93 4518. 079 32 93 4518. The second number is 074 40 33 8623. 074 40 33 8623. Please, if you have any question within the criminal justice system, foreign nationals, or even probation practice, please feel free to call any of these two numbers. And I'm sure my learned colleague here will be able to give you the best answer to the best of their ability. So we wait for you guys to call, and we take it from there. All right, you can call us now. Edwina, whilst we wait for people to call, what advice can you give to people subject to probation who are foreign nationals? Do you have any advice for these individuals or these offenders who are classed as foreign nationals that have come into contact with the criminal justice system and subject to probation, whether license or orders?
Honestly, the best advice I could give you is get yourself a very good immigration solicitor.
That's right. Wow, I love that. And then, of course, when you have a very good immigration solicitor, then of course your case will be sorted out. And I've already elaborated and highlighted that I would recommend, CITI law solicitors for everyone, because they are number one stop shop. When you go there, your immigration matters will be resolved. Wilson Jomo Yenana, my chairman 1, Kuntunchi Royals. Wilson says, good evening, thank you for your good job then. Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you. All right, so as Ed said, get yourself a very good immigration solicitor. Please make sure you do, because the input of solicitors when it comes to foreign nationals, immigration and probation is very significant. They do a lot. And we do share information, obviously, with them to make sure that
we liaise a lot.
We support your journey. I mean, a lot of people see probation as being there to catch people out, you know what I mean?
We're also there to support.
Exactly. Can you elaborate a bit more on the support that could be available, not just for foreign nationals, but for people in general? I mean, what you actually do to support people, rather than obviously to criminalize or to make sure that you send them back to prison.
So we support them in various ways, through intervention, through one-to-one work, just helping them sort of rehabilitate them so they don't come into contact with the criminal justice system again. In terms of people, for instance, that are not foreign nationals, we can help with signposts to housing, we can do referrals, we can do referrals to drug and alcohol agencies, we can do referrals to...
Alright, we've got someone on the line. Okay, hello, good evening. This is Legal Hour Program. My name is Joseph. How can I help, please?
Hello.
Can you please speak up a bit?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear now.
Yeah, my name is Patricia, so I just want to recommend actively now. You're doing a very good job.
Oh.
This program has been extremely informative. I think most of the times we forget to, do other side of the legal bit. It's always about lawyers giving same information. But I really want to recommend this videos for, looking outside to get someone in to come and talk about other things that we actually overlook in the society. I've taken a lot, I've learned a lot, and I know most people watching too have learned a lot of information, because, when you have access to all this information, clearly you never go wrong when you do have a case, or when you know somebody who's going through some of these things, you'll be able to advise them where to go and how to do things. So well done, everyone. I'm so proud of you. And I want you guys to keep doing some of these shows. It's not always about the lawyers and the whatnot. It's always good to hear other side of legal matters as well. So to you, the guy did the show, well done as well.
Oh, great. All right. Okay, Pakasi, thank you very much. Thank you for your, for calling in and your input. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you, Pakasi. Yeah. So, Ed, obviously the support is there, that you do support a lot of people in your role as a probation practitioner. All right. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and, of course, for throwing light into this area that obviously you've explored the journey of foreign nationals coming into contact with the criminal justice system, the role you play as a probation practitioner, and the whole journey from prison to maybe deportation or when they are granted bail. So yeah, well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So we're going to finish very soon. Unless maybe somebody want to call now. But then your final words, do you want to give shout out? Do you want to say hello to someone? Or do you have general advice or something like that to your viewers and your listeners?
Thank you for everyone that's tuned in and supported today. Thank you to CITI Law for inviting me on. I hope I can come on again in the future.
As always. We are proud of you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, thank you once again for supporting. Thanks for having me.
All right, great. All right, viewers, on that note, we will be drawing the curtain here. My name is MC Chaka. I've been your host for this program. God willing, next week we'll come with another educative, insightful topic. Lawyer Thomas Benyo will do the English version on Tuesday, and I'll bring the Tree version with him, obviously on Wednesday. So I'll end here, and of course I'd like to say shout out to my boys, Hackney FC, Women's Social Club members, Amaniampo Kriye Kuo, Kontonchi Royals, headed by our chairman Yenana. Of course, RC and Roman Savino, JSS mates, Prempeh College O students, and Vandas, University of Ghana VMAs. Big ups to you all. Alright, so God willing, next week we'll be here with another educative program. Thank you very much, Adriana. Thank you for coming. Have a nice one. Thank you.
Thank you.